Child, in the first part of the video, we discuss about your evaluation of programming languages, some definitions and programming paradigms, and the difference between procedure-oriented programming and object-oriented programming. Let's start from the next subtopic, that is concepts of object-oriented programming. Child, mostly we have only two type of concepts in object-oriented programming. One is object and the second is your class, right? Now, first you need to understand what is object. Everything is an object. Everything. Just name it and that thing is your object. This pen is your object. Any physical matter can be termed as an object. Any physical matter, any entity which carries or which have some characteristics and behavior, that is called your object. Let's take the example of this pen. The color of the pen, the size of the pen, the ink of the pen, the feature of the pen, that all are the characteristics and the behavior of your object of this pen, and your pen is a object. And the second term which we have, that is a class. Group of object is called class. Group of object is called class, right? Let's get the clear idea with the help of example. Like as I told you that everything is an object. So orange is your object, grape is your object, and apple is your object. But orange, grapes, apple, papaya, avocado, these all are going to be the part of the class, that is, or all are going to belong to the same category, that is a fruit. So fruit is your class, and the orange, grapes, apple, papaya, these all are your object, right? Now, all the object-oriented programming concepts having some features, and these features are, we have the four features: encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. Before we discuss the definitions of encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, inheritance, child, please understand, please by heart these terms, because these terms are very important and mostly these questions comes in your board exam. So please go through it, please. Let's start from your very first term, that is encapsulation. The wrapping up of data and member function into a single unit is called encapsulation, is called class. And this is the definition of encapsulation. Now please understand what is encapsulation. The term itself defines encapsulation. Now let's break the term. Capsulation, right? Encapsulation. Let's take the example of capsule only. Have you ever seen a capsule? Right. Single capsule carry a certain medicine in it. Correct. And the outer layer of that capsule usually protect that medicine from the outer world, if I'm not wrong, right? So encapsulation basically provides a feature or a principle. This is one of the principles of object-oriented programming, that it secure your data. What it used to do? It secure your data from outside world, or the data which you had mentioned in a specific class, that data can be used in that class only, or it's up to you if you want to share it. It's completely your choice whether you want to share it or not. Because when you consume the capsule, then only that capsule goes in your stomach. Otherwise, that medicine remain in that particular capsule or in the particular wrapping. Correct. Let's have the second term, that is abstraction. Next term we have abstraction. It refers to the act of representing essential features without including background details or explanation. Now, without having encapsulation, we are not able to afford abstraction. First of all, you need to understand. Let's take one of the example. All of you know how to drive scooty, or most of you might be knowing about how to drive a car. But when a driver is driving a car, what they basically having the idea about the gear, about the steering wheel, about the brake, about the clutch, but how machine is working, how petrol is working, we hardly bother for these things. What is the reason? Because our motive is to reach from one place to another, and our vehicle is able to give this facility to move. It helps us to move from one place to another. That is called abstraction. Take another example. Whenever you save any file in your computer, what you mostly used to do it? You click on file, you click on save, give the name of a file, and then the document is saved. But behind that, how much coding has been done? You never bother it because there's no use of it also. That is called abstraction. See, it refers to the act of representing essential features without including background details or explanation. I hope this term is clear to all of you. Next topic we have inheritance. Inherit, all of you might be having some inherited properties of your parents. Like similarly, inheritance. It is a process by which objects of one class are able to acquire or inherit the properties of object of another class. Let's have an example. Sometime whenever teacher teach you any topic, like when I was teaching you about abstraction, I was telling you that how you need to concern only about how the wheel is working, the working of gear or clutch, brake. But I'm not teaching you how to drive the car, but I'm just giving you the reference of a car. Similarly, what basically I'm doing, I'm inheriting the property of driving class. Correct. Take another example. Whenever a teacher is teaching you any topic, mostly they take the reference of another subject. So, in a simple terms, what they are doing, they are also acquiring the properties of other subject to explain a certain topic of your subject. That is called inheritance. It is a process by which objects of one class are able to acquire the properties of the object of another class. Now, next point we have, that is polymorphism. Now here, that is simple. Poly means many and morph means forms. And this term, when you will perform programming, I think that time you are easily able to understand. But let me try to explain you with the help of example. Let's take the example of a shape. When you have to calculate the volume of a shape, then that shape can be cuboid also, that shape can be cone also, that shape can be cylinder also. Now, volume is same. Volume is your polymorphism. Many forms. Volume can be of any shape. Volume can be of any form. That is called polymorphism. Right? Let's move to your last topic, that is benefits of object-oriented programming and drawbacks and disadvantages of object-oriented programming. Mostly the principles of object-oriented programming are the benefits of object-oriented programming. Data hiding, like abstraction, dealing with the essential feature without including background details. Then easy to analyze and design with real world object. I was giving you the example of pen, I was giving you the example of apple, orange. So basically it deals with the real world objects. Data abstractions, inheritance, encapsulation. easy maintenance and debugging. These all are the benefits of your object-oriented programming language. Now let's discuss the disadvantages also. We have 3 disadvantages, maybe more or less. The relationship between classes have to be sometimes created. Like whenever we are inheriting the property of one class to another, that time the relationship is required between the 2 different classes. Second is, object-oriented programming design require lots of planning and lots of expertise. And the third point is, this is not good at representing non-objects. Let's recapitulate the topic. What we had learned in this time or today's class. We learn about the definition of computer program, programming language, translation of codes, assembly language, machine level language, high level language. There are the different generations of programming language, programming paradigms, that was your structural programming, procedural programming, non-procedural programming, which means that object-oriented programming, concepts of object-oriented programming, that is class and object, right? Principles of object-oriented programming, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism, and some of the advantages and drawbacks also. So child, that's all for today's class. Hope to meet you again next week. Stay home, stay safe, and be up and doing. God bless you, child.